very much all for coming. I expected way less people. So it's like 3 times the people that I thought that it will be. It's fine. Just for one exercise, I like really like need to follow my instructions. That will be like difficult, a little chaotic. But the rest I think will work pretty. Let's see. Fine. Okay, you want to come in or you want to stay outside? Okay. Fine. And I think we should leave the door open because otherwise it will heat up. So my name is Philipp Horwath. I am an Agile trainer just because I read the Agile Manifesto, and during like 8 years of working, I had the impression everybody else understands Agile a different way than mine. So 2 years ago, I made myself like self-employed as a trainer so that I could explain what I think that Agile means and what are like the benefits from the Agile Manifesto. Yes, I'm referring really like to all the minimal stuff that is there. And of course, it's about software development, but I am a trainer. So what I do is actually I try to explain people new theories, and I'm happy if they're able to say yes or no. That's enough. I think that's my job, just to explain, to train stuff. Grüß dich. Yeah, just to explain the stuff. But my goal is that the people themselves, the students, can decide by themselves. Okay, either Scrum is something for them or Scrum is nothing. But very often I have a big problem. And for this problem, for my opinion, games are the best way to teach. So it's just my experience that I will share with you. I work like, let's say, the Agile basics, Scrum certifications, Kanban. So it's not going farther up. So no flight levels, basics. But I will share my problem with you. My problem as a teacher, as a trainer, is very often that people have often resistance against new theories, new ideas, new concepts. Like everything else, you can't even talk about it. And if you're a teacher, a trainer, even if you're a Scrum Master, you just want to talk with them about the advantages if you don't plan so much, for example. You have some people, you lose them when you're just saying, yeah, but sometimes it's possible that planning is not the right way. No, that's not true. And you're like, yeah, but maybe you're thinking, no, it's not true. So instead of arguing with them, it's like way too much effort for me. Well, I come back to the things that I studied. I studied game design and game development. You could say product development in a very specific region where our users or customers we simply call players. And instead of user experience, we have a player experience. But you can take this model also, you're creating a training. Of course, you have a target group that's kind of fixed depending on the company. And well, yeah, you have the same resistance, and then you're just changing the games and see which works better and which doesn't. And my solution, like my why, space, thank you, as a teacher, is if the student has the experience, I can teach faster. And this is really interesting to see. So if somebody tells me like, yeah, well, I don't know, like there always has to be written documentation and it's absolutely necessary. Whatever his or her background is, you make one exercise and you can see them thinking. Can talk about, well, it maybe needs some time that you really can talk about the new stuff, but still you don't have the resistance. You don't have these guys or girls in your training like, but are you sure? And sometimes they're like following you to the coffee break and like, well, are you really sure? It's like, nah, I know, or things that will never work. So that's my why as a teacher. If the student has the experience, well, he has the experience, and suddenly, because of the emotional experience, the logical argument is like not gone, but you can talk without about them. And when I see students as the customer, well, the impression that I have of the world is that like people in general expect something new or something entertaining. I don't know who is doing team building of you. Kind of, yeah? I don't know if you heard something like this, team building, okay, I don't want to do it, or if you have these exercises after a group comes together, yes, now we do some fun game, and you're like, okay, I don't like it. So please, I would ask, who is, or to be honest, who is one person who is like actually against these activity games? Yes, thank you. Please be honest. 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay. So,
sorry, what games exactly do you mean?
for example, if you are after lunch break, you know, everybody's like full. We call it Suppenkoma in German, or in Germany. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, you know, we want to do something like to get your blood pumping and entertaining. So, like, yeah. I saw your face. So it's yeah. And even this is my target group. Of course, you cannot satisfy 100% of your customers, but actually, I want to try the first game. And I'm always thinking about the entertainment part. Of course, there's information also there because I'm a training. But I think if I focus more like the exercises in the gaming area, or like at games, I can teach faster, and the customers expect to be more entertained, like self-explaining software. Yeah, or if you have moderation at a conference, you can do it like, okay, yeah, thank you, next. Or you have some crazy guy just do it the other way. It's my style, and like, yeah, that's how I do my stuff. Yes. Du bist der Beste. Why I choose games? Well, the first thing is games are not taken seriously. Why do we play games? To have fun. Okay, yeah, that's obvious. What else?
To learn.
To learn, yeah.
To relax.
To relax, thank you.
To win.
To win, yeah.
To connect with people.
To connect with people, yeah. Activity, for example.
Blow
Or
off
activity
steam.
plus 18, yeah.
Blow off steam.
Sorry?
Blow off steam.
Blow of steam, thank you.
Engage
To engage. Do you have to engage with
with the group.
the group? Okay. So with the game, yeah.
Have some feeling of success.
Have some feeling of success, yeah. But why do we have a feeling of success? Because it's just in the game rules. You know, you have a goal in the game rules, so it's like not connected to the real world. It's just for fun. That's the magic about games. We don't take it seriously, but it's very clear what a game is. You even cannot really compare games to each other because some people are playing, yeah? So we have like different targets or groups in our customer or in our player area, of course. There's some games, okay, you have a target and you have a clear target and that's what you achieve. Maybe some of you know Minecraft. It's a computer game. It's more, let's say you have a lot of Lego blocks and there is no goal in the game. So sometimes players tend to set their own goal in the game. Somebody of you know, for example, Super Mario, like the classic one, yeah? I call it a real game because if you fall down somewhere, you're dead. You're just dead. You know, it's really hard to play the game because then you're dead. Games like get softer and softer because we don't, you know, we don't want to like tingle the players and they should like as much as possible. Yeah, okay, but at Super Mario, you're dead. And if some of you know like StarCraft or different games, people really invest like 12 hours a day. Not me, just my friends. Yeah? And it's just, you know, like it looks like hard work and they're like, I need a beer afterwards. But yeah, that's kind of the magic in the games and there's no game the same. And for me personally, it doesn't make a difference if a game is analog or digital. It's just the game. And then you have the rules, which are the boundaries. And even the goal is just a rule. So maybe you change the rule and you get a better game. But at the end, it counts whatever your target group or your customers or your players see as fun, because fun is not fun. Every target group has a different definition. Yeah, fun we had, and the player steps fast into the magic circle. Yes. Sometimes if you have like, yes, dear participants, now we do a group exercise, you can see like the people. Yeah, okay, it's exercise again. Yeah. And it's hard as a trainer, it's like, okay, please, yes, I know, but we need to do this, blah, blah, blah. If it's a game, you even can make a joke out of it. It's like, okay, it's just a game, don't take it serious. Yeah, we're just playing a game, you know? People get interested, and what I call is the magic circle. So this means when you're like outside of the real world and you're stepping into the game. I think you have it kind of the same thing when you have people participating in the exercise, that they're like focused totally into the exercise, but with games it's much more easier. That's why I choose them. Thank you. So these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't think we can do everyone, but these are 6 games I use regularly in my trainings when I have problems teaching. But it's not the students the problem, it's just that they have some resistance about new knowledge. You know, you just want to talk about Scrum. And there's nothing defined in Scrum, but there are some rules. So you want to talk like what the waterfall model of the backlog, just the discussion, and some people are already like, no, don't like it. So I do a game first, then they have the experience, and then we can talk about it. So, the first one, Ich bin einer, is an icebreaker. It's even not from me, I learned it from a German Scrum Master. So, and it's also a funny thing, how less you need to do actually as a leader that people will follow. So, we kind of need to make a circle, or kind of like everybody needs to be in the line. So please stand up. But the people who have resistance, you have a choice, you can say no. So don't like this fuzzy warm-up game. So please make a defined line so everybody knows what's... Okay, yeah, we make a circle. Wow. Wow, self-organization at its best. Okay, good. Sorry? No, you're stepping in. So, sometimes you just show, you don't really explain how the game works. I say like, I am one, and now you two say, we are two.
We are two.
Yeah, like you do the thing.
We are two.
And now you three say, we are three. No? Yeah. You're the right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. No?
We are three.
So, and you say,
We are 4.
and then we start again at 1.
I am 1.
We are two.
We are 3.
We are 4. I am 1. We are 2.
We are 3.
We are four. I'm one.
We are 2.
We are 3.
Oh, you are 1.
We were 3.
No, you're the 4th.
Oh, scheiße. Okay. Okay. You see how less actually I need to do as a trainer, like to get the attention and something going on. That's the first thing. Yeah? Leading by example, I think it's called. The second thing is, well, we can do this and it's nice and we are laughing. Of course, positive side effects. And then, of course, we need to have like a rule. After the game is understood and the game, like the rules are here, we make it like Super Mario. So if somebody makes a mistake, he or she, please step back and make the circle smaller. I play with you. So, I am 1.
We are two.
We
are three.
We are 4.
No,
I'm
you
1.
did. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I'm
2.
1.
We are two.
We are 3.
We are 4.
I am 1.
We
are 2.
We are 3.
We are four. I'm one.
We are 2.
We are 3.
We are 4.
I am 1.
Mistake.
I was missed.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you did.
No, we are like very clear. Please step back. Yes. It's old school games. So, where was the mistake?
We both.
Okay, fine. You start again with I am 1.
I am 1.
Yeah.
We are 2.
We are 3.
We are four.
I'm 1.
We are 2.
We are three.
We are 4.
We are two.
We are 3.
Yeah, take your seat or yeah.
I'm just hiding here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm 1. We are 2.
We are 3.
We are four.
4.
No, I was already, I'm 1.
No, but there are 4. Okay, I here will like stop because the group is so much. But what, like, let's call them phenomena. Which phenomena could you like see? Laughing, yeah. What else?
We were getting faster.
You were getting faster, yeah.
Connecting the shit or the size to synchronize the ball
Yeah.
at the same.
A little bit of finger pointing, like who made a mistake.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually a serious thing.
Yeah, the group checked itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody likes to be like unfair behandelt. What's that in English? Thank you. Nobody likes that. And this is like a killer of the game. So kind of the group are like helping and distinguishing if the rules are not very clear. And they are like not. When does somebody goes out or not? Because some of you were like, 2? Yeah. Or like, Anna, okay, was not me. So this distinguishes the group. You don't, as a game like ruler, not as a game, game master, a game facilitator is better. It's not your point, yeah. So finger pointing can be a problem, but I think it's very less, or not a real problem because it's still in the game. Because you're just, huh?
It is fun. So to point on some person and say,
Yeah, okay, yeah, you know, but for those of you who are facilitators, you know the gray area here, yeah? It can be, but it also gives you like a thing about the group. And as a facilitator, what's the big advantage if I play with them?
You're part of the group.
Yeah.
Louder?
You become part of the group.
Yes, you can become part of the group. You're not like the facilitator, the moderator. You are like putting yourself like onto the same level. Trust and these things emerge. Yeah, that's why I like these groups exercise in the beginning, and I don't even like a lot explain. If you have a training in the following and you don't know what to say, you just say like, I am one.
We are doing
Yeah, okay, sometimes it's needs, but sometimes they are like is emerging. If I don't know what to say on the training, it's like, I am one, like we are two, perfect, now we make a break or something, so this works fine. Okay, thank you very much. Sit down, take place. So, where were the three skeptic people? Yes, yeah, please. Do you have some skepticism about the game? No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at her. Yeah? Do you still have some skepticism? Or constructive feedback?
No, this game is fun. It always depends on the game.
True.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Me? That was cool.
Okay.
yeah, it's okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Is there something similar you can do with a group which is not collocated?
Similar with the group is not collocated.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
this is usually what I have to
yeah, I know what
Online
you're facing.
trainings.
Let's see. What I look, I answer it from a different perspective because I have 12 people every day, 12 different people every day as a job as a trainer. So I'm like, I have games where I think they are like a very broad acceptance. Let's call it like this. But what here actually happens, we are laughing a lot because there are happening mistakes. But the mistakes are not seriously taken because it's a game. That's actually like a good cultural thing that maybe in a company like, yeah, okay, we made a mistake or we're laughing about it. You have this is in a game and this makes fun, but this means there also needs to be like, not the negative part, but some errors. I don't know if they're like games, well, you could ask your people. If they have like some games, you could even make a solitaire challenge. I have no clue. But they are your target group. If they say they don't like it, okay.
So what's about the size of groups? Is there a maximum size where all these games can work? And
Yes,
then
of
they
course.
fall into chaos?
Yes, of course. Like with this, I say thank you very much because you were very, very friendly to me, to me as a facilitator. If you like, let's say a group of people that I normally work with, they're like, Agile, okay? And what are you doing here? And because people are older, I sometimes get the thing, danke Jungspund, was du uns hier erklärst, aber joi. Yeah? So this is the normal people I work with. Yeah? So the larger the group gets, and they have like some resistance about the topic, or the difficultier it gets.
So is there a number where you would say, okay, that's the maximum and we don't go above that?
Try. Just try.
That's not an answer.
Yeah, I know. I
But we
worked
have
like okay.
experience.
I worked with 12 people,
Yeah.
which had like strong resistance, not against me, of course, against me because I'm the teacher. But I was like, okay, let's start. I'm 1 and 2, and I think the people were just happy that it's not like this one or okay, we do like. So maybe this is the advantage. I just had 12. That's my maximum, and it worked always fine, even if people don't like to play.
Okay.
The second thing is, sometimes I have the problem that people say written documentation, if it's requirements engineering, if it's technical documentation or Anwenderdokumentation, user documentation, like it's absolutely necessary and we have to. I'm not arguing against it, I just say maybe there's the possibility that less works more. Yeah. So, yeah. And before getting in this discussion, you normally you know your people, or you know that somebody has a resistance, so you go to the next game. In this case, we just do it, and afterwards we can discuss it. Everybody needs a post-it and a pen, and please help each other so that everybody got a post-it or a pen. Yeah, you can use a normal pen, that's also fine. Somebody penless? Andreas? I will totally not take care of the time. So could you tell me like if it's 10 minutes before the end?
No problem.
Thank you.
Guter Trick, ne?
So, I would need one of those with two. So, imagine this. Imagine this. I'm the customer, and I'm that rich, you know, that I can employ you all with one project. I just want to have like a good comparison, like who is the best on the market there. Because I'm a rich customer, yeah, I can do it. Of course, I have no time. The project that I need, I just will write you a quick and fast email. So, what I need is a product. This is a drawing on a post-it. The color doesn't matter, the size doesn't matter. In the email is like, dear company, blah, whatever. I would like to have a rectangle on the paper. Richtig. Yeah. So, and I would suggest you to start because I didn't print out the email, so it will be like line by line. So, draw a rectangle, or that has to be on a rectangle.
But it's already a rectangle, so.
The drawing, it's about the drawing.
Okay. So invisible ink and
Then 2 points. A quick line. A quick line. I'm sorry, it's an email. You know, you can't ask an email. Okay? Sorry. And my favorite color. Thank you very much, Philipp Horwath, and of course, delivery ASAP, right? So please, it will be a mingle and chaotic, but I know you can do it. Could you please pin all your work, please, on this board?
Sorry. Ja, wenn das eine Summe schreibt, dann nutzt das sicher besser, ja. Eine ganz ewige. Macht nicht. Ja, das ist ein bisschen verkehrt. Ja, genau, ja.
Well, it's very nice of you. I'm very, very glad as a customer that I did the project by myself too. So, that's actually what I expected. So.
What is the color?
Okay, it's my favorite color. You don't know? You bet, like customer or worker. Sorry. So, here make a stop. For which things do you think you can use this exercise? Communication. Okay. What else? Huh? Expectations. Yeah.
Thinking out of the box.
Thinking out of the box.
Because you said a line, and then I actually wanted to do a smiley.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh no, he said a line, so it has to be a line.
Okay. Thank you for all the ideas. That's not the part where I'm learning.
Use a story workshop.
Use a story workshop. Yeah. Okay.
Requirements.
Precision.
Sorry.
Precision.
Precision. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I use it as explanation if I have in the Agile manifesto the value pair with functional software over. Danke. Thank you very much. Just do it in German. So, if I talk about documentation, there's too much like potential that this like topic explodes. So I just state this point that sometimes communication is better, because what was missing during this time, that we had like a feedback that we could ask, you know, if it's a rectangle, or at this time I made a quadrat, square, thank you. Yes, I think per definition it's a quadrat, and look at my points, they're actually circles. So that's why communication is so important. And in this case, it was just a simple drawing. Last time I even offered the students 10 euros. Yeah? If somebody can do nearly exactly the same picture as mine. And the second part is, if you have a customer who, let's say, is not aware of that, he can be really mean. Because the customer doesn't know what he wants actually, because he didn't draw the image. But it's somewhere he has like expectations, so he writes it down and can say, no, this is shit, I don't like that, no, not that, not that, not that. But actually what we want to do, kind of, in an agile way, if we have the Zusammenarbeit mit dem Kunden in English is, thank you, we want to work together. So this means we can talk about it, okay, your customer, what's your feedback? What did you like, what did you don't like? So it's always easier for the customer to say like, no, that's what, no, I didn't like that. Instead of, yeah?
Can you please put it back?
Also, yeah. I will put my slides afterwards online, inclusive like the whole, the things we did worked here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions to this exercise? I think it's quick, and before you get into a heavy discussion, just do it. And then you have like the people, you can see them thinking. So the best thing afterwards, you make a break.
But what if people say, no, I'm not playing it because I'm not taking the offer, I'm not taking the request from the customer, so I'm not delivering anything, so in the game. Because he is ordering this, and then I say, no, I'm not delivering because I don't know.
Yeah, I have sometimes people who are like strongly are making a protest, sometimes are writing me down the requirements, like first, make a rectangle. Second, I don't say I ignore them, but you always have the chance that somebody doesn't like your training. There's somebody that thinks your game is like, yeah, crap. Or is in the training pool because they are forced to, and all they are thinking is like, I don't like to be there, I don't like to be there. And they're like working against you. But to break that up, I think games have the most chance in my experience. So yes, sometimes you have people like, don't like it. You get like in the first game, people are like, yeah, I'm not the kind of, so they had some expectations about a normal warm-up game. They're better ones, that's actually what I say. So here's a game I use if people's like heavily on documentation. And after you have this experience, and I do it during the Agile manifesto, afterwards, if you're like stuck in a discussion, you can say like, remember this? Ah, okay. This works in my opinion. Also, it works in my trainings. So, number 3, a simple game design challenge. Well, I studied game design and game development. So the fun stuff in school, my dad told me to do something technical. Of course, I studied game development with a heavily like looking into game design. And well, should I tell you first for what I use this game? Or you just want to play it?
Let's play.
Okay, so I would need you to form, please, groups of 5.
Playing also.
So, who is like not in a team? Who is not in a group? Okay, 4 is also fine. 3 is also fine. It will work. No worries. No worries. So take a piece of pen and paper. You all know the game tic-tac-toe?
Yeah.
Like at least one in the group. Okay? So now please play 2 rounds of tic-tac-toe. Even if the game is known, well known, please play it. You know the game? Yeah? 3 gewinnt oder tic-tac-toe. Please play it 2 times.
Are you the circle now?
Who's winning? That's the point.
Done?
That's maybe that's one. If not the one or draw,
No. Done?
circle feels like a win.
It's not about winning, it's about the game. So just enjoy. Okay! Can I ask you to stop? Yeah, I just can ask you to stop. Yeah? So, the next task is pretty simple. You get 3 minutes time to change one game rule. We didn't now write down, but there will be game rules like we have a board 3 by 3. There are like 2 colors or 2 like X and like as the player tokens. It's round based. It's like one player after another. That would be the game rules written down. So I'm asking you to have like in 3 minutes write down a game rule. It can like cancel a game rule that it's in the game. It doesn't matter. Yeah? But please keep in mind, games need to make fun. So think of a game rule where you think, you cannot know, you think it makes more fun. Yeah? And please write it down. Yeah? 3 minutes, go!
Let's go for everybody can repeat.
Maybe that it's not cross in the circle. Maybe it's another thing that's still advanced in one
Through facilitation.
But we have just
Versuchst du es anzukriegen, oder? Das ist gut, ja.
all the rows
So you always used to do this and this and then you start doing
Eine Minute! Jetzt solltet ihr die Rede langsam hinschreiben. Just write it down.
Anstelle des zufälligen kann man ein Symbol auswählen.
Ihr dürft alles ändern. Wenn die Leute quasi um den Tisch laufen sollen und Kikeriki schreien, das ist einfach eine Spielregel.
Let's write this down. So.
15 seconds!
We change the
Ah ja, genau.
This game already exists, I can't configure it. But you can...
Okay? Please stop. Guys, I know it's hard. The question is right. Just one rule. I think you noticed how hard it is, like just to change one, because ideas are morally bigger. Of course, they asked me, so I told them, well, try, but if it doesn't work, okay, then I've like, you can always put like the rule and, or you just do 3 rules. The thing is, we need an idea and as less rules as possible. So yes, if they break it as a facilitator, you're never like mad, you just work, right? So, the next thing is, go into your teams and think as a group, if you implement this rule, if it makes the game more fun or less fun. Just, okay?
Less fun.
Don't play it! Please don't play it yet! Don't play it yet! It was, I said didn't play! Discuss! No, please stay with me! Stay with me! Very fast! Because, the next... Guys? Thank you. Because the next question would be, can you be absolutely sure this rule makes the game more fun?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. So, now comes the play testing, or the user feedback. This means 2 people from each group, like what Agassiz is this way, yeah? So please, 2 people from one group are the testers of the next group. So they move like from one to the next group. Yeah? Yeah? Yes, now. 2 people will be... Just move 2 people to a different group, please. I know you all want to play, right? The next step is that the new 2 people... Okay, wait 1 second. The next thing is that you explain the rules to the new people and let them play. The most important thing, don't intervene. If some people play, they want to play. So you can observe, you can write down notes, because afterwards you will discuss with your colleagues what it worked or didn't work or whatever was the... So, explain the new game rules and let them play. Please accept if they say it's shit. Yeah? Yes, of course.
haben auch eine Reihe Einspeisung.
Okay.
Genau. Das ist ja kein
Man muss jetzt gegen die Medien. Diagonal
Kann man spielen.
You were thinking that what was
Mein User-Feedback länger und vielleicht aber nicht immer so viel Spaß. Das Spiel kommt vielleicht ein bisschen weil es länger ist.
Die Chance, dass es actually you could. One game already. Okay. Your game already ended. Okay. Your game ended.
Get it.
Thank you very much. Please rotate back to your original teams.
Thanks. So you can see the
Can I have your attention, please? Thank you very much. Now, you observed your players. So it's like kind of the half of the group knowing that no, let's do this later. Now you're like switched back into your original teams. Please discuss your findings with the play testing or the testing with the players you have. Because the one like were far away, so go into the original group and discuss what the findings were of the rule where you all said like yes we know that's fun. Okay? Please discuss that. What did work? What didn't work?
How about you? How exactly
a hard look. Right?
Because we didn't lose them.
Okay.
But it's
So
more fun without.
let's start here. What were your findings?
We had 2 testers, but the game is set up to more players than 2, so we had to play with them. So I guess they
You say it in German.
Sie haben davon profitiert, dass wir mitgespielt haben, weil sie gesehen haben, wie wir das Spiel spielen. Also, yeah. And I think it's not that much fun the first time because you're overwhelmed with all this information on 5 players here.
It's much more chaotic than the
It's
Yeah.
more chaotic. Okay. Okay. So the game has a learning curve,
Yeah, of course.
and every game has, but okay, still. Okay, what were your findings? Your group.
Our findings were we expanded like the board, so it's 4x4.
Yeah.
But we didn't expand. Basically, you just need 3 still to win.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not that much fun because basically it's pretty easy to win.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So the first one starts basically wins.
Okay, perfect. Then?
So we did quite the same thing. Actually, we extended it, but we
Yeah.
said, okay, we need 4 by 4,
Yeah, okay.
fours in a row to win.
Team rules.
Which is quite the same as the normal tic-tac-toe. It just extends it in its length. So yeah, it's a little bit more exciting. That's what they said, but it's not really profitable out of it.
Thank you. Next feedback. Okay. Yeah.
Another team.
Yeah.
Okay. So our idea was to change the normal shapes to funny shapes, and the users could select their own shape in the beginning. And it was pretty clear for them. They chose the shapes, and they said it was more fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they said it was more fun. Okay. Because users never lie. Why is that so funny? They just don't use it. They like it, but they just don't use it. So what's more important?
We stuck to just change one rule, so we just enlarged the grid.
Yeah.
And we knew beforehand that might be some problem that we stick to 3 for a win.
Yeah.
And actually, like, we didn't really expect the whole through, but it was very quick win. The one that started in the middle won the game.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's always a winner.
Yeah.
It's not a unentschieden. What is it?
Draw.
That could be an advantage, maybe.
Your game rules. Okay. Next team.
Yeah, like we did a fundamental thing. We changed the whole game. So no, just kidding. We just changed that you lose when you have 3 in a row. And that was our rule.
Nice! I like that one. Okay? This I play this regularly and I know all the ideas, but this I don't. I like it. No, it's just something new for me. Okay? Okay, cool. Need to play that because with this I have no experience.
So there is no.
No. If you have 3 in a row, you lose.
Yeah, so
you
it's a
have
draw, so both are winners. So there is no loser.
Well, it's just a rule. Do you have the experience how it will work with this rule?
I haven't. No.
Me neither.
the other way around.
I'm just excited. Okay, it's fine. I will do it in the break. So you were watching school.
So we already started to change the rule in the first 2 rounds when we have been playing, because we have been a group of 5 people and just 2 of us playing and the other 3 is watching us playing. So we decided to go one by one, always changing the shape. So you started maybe with a circle, and in the second round you have to make a cross.
Okay, yeah.
And based on that we changed one rule, the same as they did. So we said the one who has to finish the 3 is the loser. So when we had the testers here, we also played all 5.
Yeah.
So we trained them for playing. And this was quite fun because you have to think a little bit different. Yeah, the traps you are building have to be different because the next time it's your turn.
Yeah.
Follow.
Call it strategy, but yeah.
Yeah, the next time it's your turn and you have the other shape. Because it's not an equal number.
And we never had a draw.
Never had a draw. Okay, fine. And you guys?
We changed one rule so we can, so one player can once in the game override the other
once.
Once.
Fine. And
And yeah, it was a little bit more complicated then, because it's really new, and so you have a learning curve also. And so that we had our beta testers play it for 3 rounds, and it was funny because the first round the girl has won, and so she said it was funny. Afterwards Max won, and then he said, "Oh, I think also it's funny."
You think?
No. And so overall, they said it's maybe more fun than we are not quite sure about it because it was still trying out.
Yeah, sure. So, and here comes now the very interesting part. All the people who were the playtesters, please hand up like this. No, like make a fist, please. Yeah. And please, it's just a game. So I ask you now, if you're really thinking that you know all tic-tac-toe, it's like kind of boring, like everybody knows. Yeah? If you think this rule made the game more fun, whatever the definition of fun, it's just made more enjoyable, you liked it more, your gut feeling, that's important stuff, you open your hand, and if not, you let it close. And please, I can ask you that nobody's mad, yeah? Because, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Keep it.
Hey,
Me too.
you were also just.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sind für gut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nein, du nicht. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What did I, thank you, you can put your hands down. What number did I say before? 6. 6 to 9, okay? So we had 6 players who liked it, who saw it as an advantage, and the others not. And I asked you first, are you sure that the idea you're just thinking and writing down on the paper, so you are writing a requirement actually, you know? It's just a game rule, yeah? Game is just a subset of products. But you wrote a game rule, a requirement. You implemented it and you tested it and you said it's fine, right? How can this happen? How can you be that mistaken? Somebody knows the answer because it's an Agile conference, right?
Nobody had asked the customer before?
I say that's fine, because sometimes we have new ideas.
Unknown expectations.
Sorry?
Unknown expectations.
Unknown expectations. Yeah. The thing is, if you write a concept or an idea and you have no clue, or whatever you do, there's always the possibility that you're right. So if you're like in requirements and engineering, you make assumptions, and the fastest way to see if your assumption is right or wrong is testing. So you know where I'm going, where I use this. This thing is in the product owner courses. When you say, yeah, we need like a big product backlog or whatever, yeah, and then I say like, no, just try to make a game more fun, and then you have like the users and if people like have this thinking that they think they're always right and they know it better as a customer. I play this. You can even be more. You can like expand this thing, yeah. That you say you have like user stories, yeah, or like 3 requirements, and then you just test one by one and go back and see how the games differently will evolve. Yeah. Why do I use tic-tac-toe?
Everybody knows.
Thank you. The big advantage of games is also everybody knows it. You don't have much to explain, and everybody comes to, it's a game. We don't take it seriously. That's the good thing. Can anybody else think how you could use the game? Or is somebody skeptical? Don't think that it will work.
No, I enjoyed like diverse idea came out. So I'm quite curious what kind of different idea each group come up with. And yeah, of course we share the diversity and the quick feedback group. Go and test and come back. And we'll think about what do you mean by funny? So to reflect on this.
True.
Yeah. You could combine it with some creativity techniques.
Yeah. True.
Going around and build on the ones from the group.
Yeah. there's one disadvantage, like where you have a cliff. Yeah.
I would do it only when I have the possibility of testing. So maybe in some for some systems or some development, it's not that easy to get this feedback.
True.
In this game, it's possible, but in reality,
I know.
So if you show this game and then they cannot turn it into the practice because they cannot really do this testing.
True.
Maybe then they see that they should test. Maybe they check that they have to test.
Yes, but they want to test, but they cannot because it's not always that easy to bring.
It's not easy or it's not possible? The principle is good because it shows that
Some things are possible and other things are
hard but seldom impossible.
Maybe you can test it with the low fidelity prototype.
It's fine. I'm like sitting down because I have these discussions like every day. This is where the real world is colliding with your theory, but with this I can work because we can argue, we can discuss, we can share things. Yeah? But people say like, okay, we have our processes, that's fine, that's work, and you go in this company, it's like, okay, let's do something. So even this is like an icebreaker. Like I had a very, very bad experience about this like game designing because all my friends are board gamers, so analog games. We love to play games, also digital, but we played a lot. And then, of course, a young student, I do a game design and make a very fun game where you paint. How do you call on the roof the single things? The tiles of the roof, yeah, where you like. Color them and you buy them, and all my friends were like, yeah, that's an interesting idea, sounds not that funny, but they played it anyway. So I had like 2 days, printing material, yeah, cutting and writing down the game rules, thinking about how he explains. The problem is like they're expert players, so I explained them the game, we started playing, and after 5 minutes my best friend Tom said, thank you. Can we play something else? And this was the hardest experience of my life. I had the biggest light bulb because, yeah, of course, the user is right. That's like, yeah, sure. In this case, what we have or not like talked about, or think about is like the user or the target group or the audience you're working with. Well, in the game industry, of course, there's some establishment. I normally don't talk about this because then you open the next bottleneck. The only thing that I want to say about gamification, if you use like games during work, the thing is you have a fixed target group. Your users, your players are the people in the company. So if you have a great idea like, yes, everybody gets a Super Mario bonus for every bug they fixed, it can work, but it also can't. That's like your target group is fixed and maybe you just need to change the game, but if it's not fun, people feel like cheated in real life because the game system and the real life are colliding. It's like, okay, you're just cheating me that I do no more bugs, but I don't like them, so what a game, yeah. Good.
Isn't it also about the content? So
of course.
If you use games like these ones, you can establish a metaphor. So you can communicate a principle.
Yeah.
But I think it's very hard to teach some basic skills, like programming skills, testing skills, stuff like that. So it can be a starting thing to establish the metaphor or give an example about the principle, and then go to real work. So that would be my impression of it.
I lost you somewhere on the way.
No, so I'm thinking about how to apply that.
Okay.
About this.
Yeah.
And let's say you have a programming course.
Yep. Okay.
So you have to tell them how to program in microthreading, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
And if you want to bring in the theory of gamification, so I think which content can be communicated with games, and I think the game thing or the gamification is working very well for the principles and for establishing a metaphor.
Yeah.
so the big picture of something. But it is not very effective in teaching some detailed knowledge.
Okay. Here
so do you agree with that?
No, I totally disagree.
Yeah.
But of course we would know how to teach in talk in detail. Yeah? So you have something the player wants to do, something they want to learn, and then they're around. You build your game system, your play system. I just taught like JavaScript basics, yeah. But I always try to do games as exercise. Yeah, that's what I did, and most of the people, they tried it, they liked it, most of them. Of course, if you had some expert programmers, they were like, okay, why I'm doing this? Yeah. Okay. I think it also will work, but start, and if everybody says, okay, the game is really, really bad and it doesn't make fun, or some say yeah, it's shit. It's honest feedback, okay? Then ask them why and see what your target group is more likely to accept. You said one point, I don't know, was it the theme or the context or somewhere where you put it in? Are there some Star Trek fans? Okay, 1, 2, yeah, okay, some are I don't know, How I Met Your Mother, whatever. Now we go kind of the storytelling or in the theme or where the thing is. Maybe you put the same game into a different theme and suddenly it works. I don't know if somebody knows Visual Blitz, the game where I have these 3 stones in a row. It's a stupid game, yeah, it's a casual game. And then you have it with 3 stones, and then there's the new version where you have it with cupcakes, and the next version with I played with a small knight who is attacking something, and then you have some magical somethings. It's always 3 in a row. It's always stupid, but different setting is for different player. But I think this discussion we will make outside, because gamification opens a box, and to be honest, I'm on board of gamification, because all I see, I call myself as a guy who played a lot with the friends, and all we see is that's just crappy implementation. If you look at this, it doesn't make fun. Yeah. Some opinions? Critics? Good. Sync the user feedback. Yeah? Or, yeah. What I actually want to try here to show, and this will be here in the same, but in a different way, is you need the user feedback. The user is right. Yeah? And here we do it differently. Sync the user feedback, we will play battleships. Does everybody know that? Yeah. With this group it will be a bit chaotic, but I'm pretty sure it will work. I have yeah. Please make 5 groups. I don't have more sheets of paper. Yeah, and please huddle in a group. That's fine. Oh. Huh? No, this is okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Wir müssen die Gruppe größer
We need
machen.
5 groups.
You want to join us?
You want to
join us.
I need 1 person from every group. Well, at least explain it differently. Every group needs 1 paper of flip chart as their game board.
Kannst du mit der Mecke gehen? Kannst du mit der Mecke gehen, ja? Finder? Coaching Material? Evening? Und dann sync the user feedback. Make it now on this one. First. Can you go on that slide and show it? Thank you.
This is, yeah, it's the play button actually there. There it is. Yeah, thank you. Schiefel versenken, everybody knows the game rules, right? Okay. In this you will notice that the game is not fully developed. It's still work in progress, but it's fine after lunch because people don't expect so much. The most important thing that I want to have in this game, that the people or the product owners realize that they can be false. So I try to abstract the knowledge that will be uncovered while producing the product in the sprint. And I thought, okay, I know the knowledge that should be there. And that's here on the game board. So the features that will work on the market with the features that we actually earn money are the ships you need to sink. And from this, you need to order your backlog. So every backlog item has just a number and a vocal, a character. So I would ask you to make an ordered backlog of 25 items. One product backlog on the left side. So which features, you see every square is one feature you can give the development team that should be developed.
Okay. So we just make
please,
1A, 1B, 1B.
Yes, yeah. So it will be a list from bottom to down. Call it maybe backlog 1, so it's the first one, so that we see the involvement. Yeah, let's go. Your group, just make it self-organized. Just decide.
And then do one.
We have backlog. Backlog 1.
So, wenn dir zu heiß ist, darfst du auch rausgehen. Wie spät ist es denn?
5 nach.
Eigentlich hätte ich auf Pause machen wollen davor, aber dann geht es nicht mehr aus.
Weniger Kaffee.
Aber du kannst hier aussteigen. Du kannst hier aussteigen und noch wieder seine Gruppe einsteigen. Ich bin nichts dagegen. Ich würde euch trotzdem noch bitten, euren Backlog aufzuschreiben.
You have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ja, 3 A bis E, 4 A bis E.
It's the next game. It's the next game.
This is now.
Okay, you got your backlog? Okay, you got your backlog?
Yes.
Yes, you got your... No? You got your backlog? You can reorder it after the next sprint, so you can just write down. Come on. We're agile. Oh, hop, hop. Chaotic, not thinking, gut feeling. Go, go, go. Well, maybe I'm a very dominant decision. Just my style. So. Mr. Spaceman.
Yes.
Can you search for this one? How does the user work?
Wie funktioniert unser User?
Yeah, but the English one. So it's two below 5. Yeah, and there's the play. Thank you. So to understand, how the user works, I take the concept of agile, of battleships to explain. If you develop something, and you get this symbol, this means it has no value for the customer. So no value change at all. It's neither bad nor good, it's just there. Then you have this sign, you don't know this. But if you hit this means it has a negative value and you have income -1. If you get this symbol, you get a feedback from the user that they said, yeah, that's nice, but he won't pay for it. But you have a direction where the value is hidden. And then there are the ships. You know, if you have like this ship, this shape, it's the beginning of a ship, that's the centerpiece of the ship. So ships can be like this, or if it's just the one thing, that's the thing. But the feature needs to be complete. So sometimes the user says, yeah, it's a good idea, but still can't use it. I need like this, this, this. If you get the ship, you get income plus n. So if it's a ship of 3, you get plus 3, depending on the size. So this will be, when your developers are developing, will be the feedback. So now go on to the next. No, before. Before. Thank you. So we did the team setup. We did the preparation where the product owners are writing down the complete product backlog. So now comes the development team. I need one development team from each team. It's represented just by one person.
Feel free to go in there.
Okay. Okay. All the developers, please come out in front of the door. So where are the developers? Hier. Sollten 5 sein, oder? Wir haben nur 4 Teams.
Ist mir warm.
Ja. Depending on the size, I think how big
Is this 5?
This is 5, I think.
Or is it 1 and 4?
Yeah, no, I think it's 5. It's like
That's 4.
a boat like this, right?
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a single boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So then it can be 1, can be 4.
It's only these 2 cases?
No, I think it's more.
I think so.
But just the 2 are represented.
There are no directions or no, how do you say, Vorgaben.
So maybe this and this? Make a smaller
Probably you
shape?
can do it like you want, and then there's a maximum of 5 or something like
And
that.
2 also.
No, it's not like 1 of 4, 2 of 3, 3 of 2, and
It's
4
not
of
written
1.
down yet.
It's not, yeah.
We don't
But I
know.
mean in general.
In general, you could probably make a 17-piece shift if you want to. But in the, if he says a rule that's maximum of 5, then it's bad.
And this is the feedback from the hour, so nothing is positive.
Okay.
No, it's only negative and no is very.
But we will, like, the backlog is the coordination, and each item is like a symbol. So, I don't know, we have 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E is like this ship here, and we need to...
Yeah, sure.
No, this is the battlefield, no?
Yeah, but you need to place the ships on the right order. So let's wait till the developer.
Or maybe he wants to show us development without prior discussion. And then we can complete the ship.
We need also a map.
Yeah, so for right now, there's a team setup in preparation. Right now, that's a product owner team, which are the people who are going out right now.
The development team.
No, we are the development team.
No, we are the development owner.
We are the product owner team.
Yeah.
Usually it's vice versa, right? Some product owner and a bunch of developers.
So you get your development teams back, and they will pull from your backlog, right? You ordered it, so they just need to pull.
Should we draw the items with squares?
I like more than
Yeah, this is complicated.
Yeah.
Should we draw the whole thing?
Do we have to do
We have it here.
Perfect. I covered it up.
It's another one.
That is way too big, actually.
This one, no. This is another game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe.
Yeah,
genau.
Aber jetzt bitte, ja?
Muss jetzt.
Du pulst so viel, wie du glaubst, dass du das Team schaffst.
This is important.
Okay.
Prioritize.
Okay, gut.
Du pulst jetzt so viel, schreibst es auf einen Zettel und kommst dann zu mir. Mhm.
Wie soll das jetzt designen, mehr oder weniger, das Spiel?
Ah, ihr spielt das jetzt. It's a mixture of Scrum and Schiffel.
Wie viele Schiffe haben wir jetzt? Wie viele Schiffe haben wir?
You don't know. This is the thing you don't know. You're exploring on the battleships. Just let's play some rounds and then you will notice.
We're playing just one direction, so they don't have to
You
try.
have to.
Ah, okay. You are playing, please, you are playing actually against me. Like against the game or the game master. So I will now simulate the customer. Your development teams will pull. Yeah? Where our development teams goes? Yeah, development team pulls the backlog items according what they think they can do. Yeah, your development teams got instructions how much they can pull as a development team.
Can you change that in singular because we're only one?
Okay,
So this is
the developer.
confusing. Yeah.
Thank you. As a feedback. Yeah. So what the developer thinks he or she is pulling, then they come to me. This means they develop the feature, they show it to the customer in the sprint review, and from me they get the feedback from the customer. So what the customer thinks is abstracted into the game. And then you will get the feedback and then you will reorder the backlog and it starts again. Step by step. We need to play like one round and then it will go automatically. So I would ask please the developers come to me.
Okay, jetzt verstehe ich das irgendwie. Ich verstehe nicht. So würde ich jetzt sagen, mach halt überall Schiffe. Ja, was soll man ändern? Das hat die Frage. Aber wenn wir keine Regeln zum Spielen haben, dann mach überall ein Schiff.
Yeah, I mean, she went on holidays.
Sagen wir mal, wir wollen mal ein Schiff haben, das ist das Simpelste. Also wir wollen just to have the simplest Schiff.
Sorry, I had the impression that she is
You will not be a Scrum Master.
I could do
Isn't she need to go there?
I think she needs to go.
You need to go there because I don't understand what he's saying. He's saying, now I need to see the direction.
Okay, your product owners.
It's fun. Give us the paper and then what?
I was like, can you go? She was like, me?
Always trust the product owner. That's fun, das ist
Der Pfeil zeigt, wo ein Schiff verborgen ist, wo ein Feature ist. Ja, ich weiß nicht.
Okay, but we have now, we have now a few things. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, you hold it.
Okay, so now.
But the user knows what feature
Muss man den Backlog, we have to talk more about it.
Muss man den Backlog von oben nehmen? Do you have always take the first item from the backlog?
Yes.
Yes, and when I'm allowed to change? I think like every time, because if the things are pulled into the sprint, you can change the backlog. That's the only thing I made like kind of static here. So you know the rules of Schiffsversenk, of battleships. So now please write backlog 2 and write down the new order of the backlog. Will you reorder it? And in which way?
So we just leave out topic. And what happens if we write So we just leave out topic. What happens with one bit? So we just short a bit. Rewrite everything without.
They're not in development, they have no value.
Okay, she's okay. So we have
You already developed them.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a way. I'm not going to draw this again because we have the backlog. So that means no shift. Do we shift something?
You can so which backlog items you can least follow
Where a ship could be.
So write down the new product backlog.
So probably here's the end, so probably this one will be a ship and maybe here. Do you have a limit how much you can do?
And then the other one is gas.
So then I would probably say something like
and then you say
one
empty.
CD.
because they're okay on the ship guys. So definitely
or even 3
My mother wanted that they do not look like shit.
without any.
Like, what is that?
Okay.
So maybe the next.
Okay, you ready? Okay, I need the developers. We need to go on. You know, the sprint is starting. The time box is ending of the.
But what can we learn? That sometimes we implement features which are not the highest priority. Sorry.
Or that we don't know where to shoot.
Most of the time the customer doesn't know exactly what he wants. We need to be precise.
Or that they know.
Wait a minute, what is that?
So we hit it. So but what is this then? So this is a single one and this is a single one. And no value change, but the user knows
So bring the information into the.
You could also come to him and pick all of them, right?
So probably, I mean this says no value change, but the user knows the feature they want, so probably pointing in the right direction where the feature is.
But our backlog is fucked up now.
Leute, ich verstehe schon, dass das mühsame Arbeit ist. Ich möchte mich trotzdem so ein bisschen aufschreiben. Okay, aber sagt ihr dann, okay, kommt ihr das dann ins Scrum auch so, dass ihr nur die ersten 2 und der Rest bleibt?
Wenn ihr das
nur 2. Wo ist nochmal aufschreiben? Das wäre die Bitte gewesen, aber wir haben nicht die Zeit. Passt schon. Ja.
This is already the touch screen.
Wie viel Zeit habe ich denn noch?
7 Minuten.
7 Minuten.
But we didn't have to wait for this one.
Thank you very much. I think because of the time, I'm sorry, I need to break the game here. I'm very sorry. Space guy, I need your skill set.
You're the space.
I'm the space guy, space guy.
Okay, space. Space.
Oh, space again, yes.
Space.
Again, okay.
Space.
Okay.
Space. 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 So, that's the thing that happens. Of course, people are in the beginning are like confusing. I did a very short introduction. Sorry. But the good thing is here you can see like the evolvement of the backlog. Yeah. I noticed that here the backlog number 2 wasn't written. Maybe I need to be more clear. It's like some findings for me. Thank you that you helped me developing the game, so you can use it for free. This was from a different group. This was the original backlog number 1. They pulled A1 and B2, and afterwards they were like inserting the findings, like from the developer. And this had the thing, they deleted A2 and B1 and C3 went up. Yeah? Maybe, that's just an idea, you can say, make the changes on the backlog 1 with the red and the green pen, which one you're like crossing out and which one you're like sorting up. I like the idea if you can show the evolving backlog, if you have like a checkbox. Because of the game, some fields you can just delete. You can delete it from the backlog. You can delete it from the backlog. How cool is that? Nobody does it, but it's so cool. Yeah? So you see, in this case, a lot of things have been deleted out, and like the second last, which was there, suddenly moves up to the top. And if you're working with customers and their experience, and if you're like really not thinking, you like, I know what my customer wants, but you're more like, okay, let's see what works with the customer, what has like, Mehrwert in English is the value, right? Just value, yeah? I see it from the lenses as a game designer. The game just makes fun if you see the guys or the girls having fun with the game. Okay, I have a product. So I think there is, my idea, my written concept has a value. But if I'm wrong, I'm changing the backlog necessary because I don't want to say I'm an HR. I'm just like, yeah, I know now this won't work. And so I changed it through, and now I need you to go back.
To what?
To go back. It shows the difference, and you can also make here an income graph. Yeah? In the first round, this team didn't have a feature. In the second round, they had like 1 ship, so this means like money 1. In the third round, they had, I think, 4, so they made +4, and then you can plot it also on an area, because with every feature you do, the curve gets up. Of course, it's an abstraction of the real world. That's what the game is for. But it gives the people like an idea how the Scrum will work. Nobody is like angry about the developer, about the pulling. Go back. Go back. So this is, for example, how the game plan could be. Go back. And this is how the developer worked. So they have in mind, they have a team velocity, and the corners have the effort 1, on the effort 2, and these tiles, these features, yeah, has the effort 3. That's their like pulling thing. They were instructed that they not open how they work, but they could argue with you. So developers, could they argue with your product owner team like, yeah, we should do this because I'm faster?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. This is something you could like work out of the game. Yeah, so there's like a basic abstraction of how the team works, but my point is still, in the game it's pretty clear how you reorder the whole backlog. Have roughly idea how the game works. I'm sorry that we couldn't play like a third or fourth round.
Yeah.
So you actually don't have to wait till the end of the sprint to reorder it. You can reorder it during the sprint already.
Yes, you can reorder it, but you need like the feedback from the users how to reorder. So it's really abstract. Like we give it, we have direct feedback, and like how the user works. So what experience we hit and which we don't is the battleship game. I still think the game is not like, from the game feeling, it's like it's not perfect. It's not like es hängt noch. Es ist noch nicht dort, wo es sein sollte. Yeah?
Doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out.
In my opinion,
yeah, please.
It's more complicated to explain and play the game than to explain and play a Scrum workflow. So it doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I
So
take the
it should
feedback.
be a game that is more easy to map to the Scrum workflow, or even you start with the Scrum workflow and you do another example in exactly that
but
terms.
As I say, this game is not aimed for explaining the Scrum workflow, but how to work with a product backlog. And that you see, oh, this feature isn't worth any money anymore, and you can delete it. Some things you don't see most likely in other scenarios or other games which are related to explaining the Scrum workflow.
I think so. This game is for people who already know Scrum.
Yeah, but usually if I would be a product owner, then I know the team velocity because everything is transparent. I also know the story points they are providing.
But
so
they
I
don't
would
have. But
this chart.
here you have it. No, but here you have a team where you don't measure velocity. You have no idea. You just have the gut feeling of the development team. If they choose, that's fine. And I want to make it on purpose intransparent, so that they have some decision rules, so they can play, but it's not influencing. That's why it's hidden on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't understand why the development team had the most communication with the client.
Yeah, that's how the rules are currently. Yeah.
You can change them to make them more like normal projects. Maybe for another track.
So that the product owner
The product
would...
owner. Yeah, the product owner.
But that's not review there also developers.
Well, the developers are actually showing what they did,
Exactly.
and then they're putting the feedback into the.
So I don't think only product owners should attend.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both could be working, but I know here is now
But
the
that's
abstraction.
not the
You know,
point.
my point is that actually you need to reorder the backlog. You can be wrong. Everything you think that the user likes can be just an assumption, or what I like to say, you take ein Bündel Geld, a heap of money, you put it on a fireworks, and you just hit it with fire, and maybe it explodes or it doesn't. That's how I see requirements engineering in the Agile world, also in the game development. I'm never sure that it works, but I try through learning to have better and better and better assumptions. That's what I'm trying to explain here. What's that? Finito?
Finito.
Okay. Are there any questions open?
Can you maybe explain this coin game quickly?
The
Because
life game.
The coin game?
Yeah, I saw in the description of the...
We can do it in the break. Yeah?
How long does it take?
Okay, you want to know the coin game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody needs a paper, like drei Münzen. Yeah, whatever you take. Paper, whatever. Yeah, you can also a Papierkügelchen, be creative. Yeah?
They need to be different.
No, it's just that you. Sorry. The customer feedback, yeah.
Jeder drei, glaube ich.
Jeder drei?
I will rush you through the game, okay? Please stay in your groups. I'm sorry, if it's okay, I will do it in German, because then it's easier to understand. Ein Schätzspiel, ja? Jeder hat seine 3 Kügelchen in der Hand, oder seine 3 Münzen, oder 3 irgendwas. Ja? Dann bitte gebt beide Tische unter die Hand oder hinter die
Hände.
Entschuldigung, die Hände irgendwo dahinter. Und in eine Hand gebt ihr 0 bis 3 Münzen. 0 bis 3 Kügelchen, 0 bis 3 irgendwas. Und auf 3 legt es einmal alle auf den Tisch, aber versteckt. Aber die eine Hand, wo es drin ist, ist klar sichtbar. In einer Hand kannst du jetzt 0 bis 3 Kugeln reingeben. 1, 2, 3. So. Irgendwer fängt an, ist mir jetzt quasi egal, der muss schätzen, wie viele Kügelchen insgesamt hier sind. Ja? Das heißt, ihr seid wie viele Leute? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ja? Das heißt, 7 mal 3 ist 21, das heißt, ihr könnt schätzen zwischen 0 und 21. Das Ziel ist es jetzt, die genaue Zahl zu erraten. Dann seid ihr sicher. Ja? Das heißt, einer fängt bitte an, in jedem Team, der sagt eine Zahl, dann der nächste, bis alle durch sind, und dann wird aufgemacht und der es erraten hat, scheidet aus. solange bis keiner mehr über ist.
So it's maximum remain 7. Now 21 also we have 7. So we said, yeah. So I said 10.
How many are together?
13.
12.
15.
14.
Okay, open up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 8, 11.
Oh, so we can go out. Yeah, but we have lost, right?
Yeah. Okay. If somebody like got the number, he or she is out, and you play again. Okay.
They are out.
No, normally it's a drinking game, so the loser pays the round for everybody. But I don't use it that often. Ja, aber nächste Runde ist es dann auch für euch. Ja?
Ja, again. Just over them.
Zahlt dann den Schnaps für alle. Das ist das Originalspiel.
Jürgen, bist du auch?
15. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Nobody said. We are 5, right?
I say
Why?
maybe you can say any number.
Lieber Lehrer kommt am ersten Raum.
That's a word. 3. So it's 3.
Did anybody say something? Okay, thank you.
Das kann sehr lange dauern.
Did the game already ended? No? Eigentlich bis nur mal einer verloren hat. Okay, ihr habt das gedanklich durchgespielt. For the other teams, is it fine if we make a break here, please? Thank you. You know how the game works. Now, from a player perspective, what is my goal?
To estimate right.
To estimate right. To win the game, actually to do not lose. Yeah? So, if I think of, like, an wen denke ich? An welchen Personenkreis denke ich beim Spiel?
Also, Estimation an die.
Ja, aber wenn es jetzt ums Gewinnen geht, auf welche Menschen achte ich im Endeffekt?
An mich selbst. Ja.
Nur mich selbst, Dankeschön. That's the point. Wie ihr dann das Spiel in der echten Welt verwendet, gut, das überlasse ich jetzt euch. Jetzt ändern wir die Regeln und machen nicht ein Firmendenken, aber ein Abteilungsdenken. Ja? Das heißt, 4 Teams. Ja? Ihr entscheidet als Gruppe, wie viele Kügelchen euer Botschafter in die Hand nimmt und herbringt, und dann schauen wir die 4, wer quasi als Abteilung gewinnt. Also wir spielen das gleiche Spiel, nur dass ihr also eine Abteilung darstellt. Ja? Und ihr müsst quasi gemeinsam entscheiden, wie viel ihr euren Gesandten dann, oder wie viel ihr herzeigt.
0 bis 3. Oder 0 bis 21.
0 bis...
Kriegt unser Botschafter mit.
Der Botschafter kriegt 0 bis 3,
Ja.
Dankeschön. Und auch eine Zahl mit, die er halt dann schätzt. Das heißt, es sind 4 Teams, das heißt, es geht maximal von 0 bis 12. Ja? So, einfach Entscheidungsprozess. Let's go.
Something between 1 and 2. The most common thing. 4 teams. Something around 7 I mean, it's an average. So if you calculate it, she said 1, I paid 3.
Okay, you got it?
Whatever.
Okay.
So the average would be like 2.
Okay, please come to an end. Decide fast. It's just a game, you know.
5 groups, right?
Okay.
Average.
Number 1, number 2. Where's your representative? Okay. So, pressure on you. You got your representative.
No, not really.
Let's go.
We have discussions.
I know, but if I want to continue, just make a gut decision.
And then
Okay?
we say
Okay? So, okay? So, please show the hand which has the, yeah, okay. You're saying which number? 5.
5. 7. 10.
Show it. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. You are too like that. Okay, now I could continue. Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much.
You were so short.
Okay. This is then the point where you can, wo du dann am Abteilungsdenken quasi arbeiten kannst, oder Team versus Team versus Team versus Team. Weil, wie müssten wir hier eigentlich spielen? Die Spielregeln geben automatisch ein Konkurrenzdenken hervor. Das ist, es ist zwar ein Wir, aber nicht ein Wir alle in der Firma. Jetzt geht es aber bei dem Spiel um Gewinnen. Was müsstet ihr tun, damit alle gewinnen? Miteinander reden. Das passiert natürlich nicht. Man kann hier die Leute mehrere Runden spielen lassen und eine Punktevergabe einführen, wo einfach dann klar ist, dass dieses mehrere Runden Spielen einfach im Firmenkontext wenig bringt. Jetzt gibt es dann noch die dritte Runde, dass wir sagen, wir sind im Firmendenken. Das heißt, ihr gemeinsam als Gruppe müsstet quasi 0 bis 3 reingeben, ja, und dann eine Schätzung abgeben. Wie viel Spaß macht das Spiel? Genau. Das ist, wenn man quasi, wo man sagt, man schwenkt dann dass man sagen, es muss dann einfach etwas anderes geben als dieses Konkurrenzdenken oder dieses zielorientierte Denken, was aber eine gewisse Motivation gibt. Das ist dann das Spiel nicht mehr an sich, da ist das Spiel an sich einfach nicht mehr so spaßig. Und auf diesen 3 Ebenen, sage ich, bringst du deine Spieler oder deine Teilnehmer relativ leicht hin. In der ersten Variante hast du sie im Ich-Denken, im zweiten hast du im Wir-Konkurrenz-Denken und im dritten Fall sind wir alle miteinander, vor allem macht das Spiel keinen Spaß, weil wir gemeinsam an einem Ziel arbeiten. Ja? Das heißt, da ist dann die Motivation eine andere. Ja? Wer war das, der gesagt hat, the coin game is interesting? Somebody said like the coin game, we should do it?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah? You got some findings out of it?
Yeah.
Even that I rushed through?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not funny to play on the firm level, right? This was your point now, right?
Yeah, so there is...
Because you estimate like 275. Okay.
Thank you very much for your participation and to play.